We're at a women's meetup and a chilly morning in Florida. It was down in the 30s last night. There are probably 50 or more women. There's a whole nother row over there. Is that Linda? Oh my gosh, Linda, I have been wanting to meet you for such a long time.
Well, Jan, you're Jan. I've been wanting to meet you. Yeah, I'm getting out of bed right now.
Show me how that works.
Okay. Don't you sleep in the front seat of your vehicle?
No, I don't.
Well, I sleep in a reclining position here in the front seat. It gives me a huge amount of space in the back. I'm reclining, but not too far.
Okay, let's see.
You can actually recline further. What I do, of course, the door would be shut. Pillow. Squishy pillow.
Oh, right. More pillows.
Seatbelt cover here.
Right.
So it's not digging into me.
So everything's soft around you, right?
Yes. And then, without the shoes on, of course.
Oh my goodness.
But of course.
Oh, I remember him. Hi, Andy.
Yeah, this is Andy, and he walks with me and he talks with me. My daughter got me this, so it's special for me.
Sweet.
And then this is like a good grip bar.
Yeah, to pull yourself around.
I can flip around. I mean, if you want to go all the way back like that, I don't.
Oh, that looks cozy.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people like you pull your legs up. It's comfortable.
Oh, that does
lots
look
of
nice.
Space.
Yeah.
You know? And then this could be back here. And just remember, this is like a grip bar, guys. Okay, just like in a shower or something.
Yeah.
But I'll do this, and then I swing around here.
You're agile. Keeps you agile.
And then I bring this,
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting on the console now.
Yeah.
Here's my Reflectix, with the fabric. That's blackout fabric.
And you probably made those, right?
I did. This is a pillowcase.
And you've got this tension rod right
Yeah,
in
just
there.
a cheap, like $2 at Walmart. And I cut a hole here in the pillowcase.
Oh, pillowcase. Cool.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
And I got one on the other side. So that's ambiance.
Yes.
A little bit at night before I put these up. We'll make coffee. So I always carry a couple gallons of water, if not 3 or 4. And I do literally cook in here. Soups, everything. And then I make my coffee. I've got some instant going on here. This is like a little coffee bar
you
right
got
here.
nice hot.
Yeah.
And you use instant coffee, you said.
I do. I have a pour over. Yeah, I don't use it most of the time. And then I've got my paper towels here hanging on a little chain.
Good.
And that's an electrical cord. And I've got books there.
Now that's a nice little space because you can put quite a bit in there.
And I put my folding table that's outside. I put that out. I put that right here.
Right.
And then along here, since we are on this side, this is all my winter gear. Hats, gloves, a puffy coat, a regular wool coat. Both of my sweatshirt jackets I tuck in here. The one I have on plus this red one. And this used to be a pillow when I was driving, one of those lumbar type. I don't use it, but I feel like if I take it out, then that's when I'm going to need it. And this is the shower tent that pops up. But this is kind of like my personal area. And then as you go from here back is all my craft show stuff that I do on the road. These are my favorite for clothing. These are called Amazon Basic Bags.
Packing cube.
And yeah, little cubes, and I roll all my clothes.
Right.
Fold it, and then again, and then start rolling, and then tuck it in itself. And then, so everything, so much more fits in these. And then in the morning, I know where this happens to be like nighttime stuff. But to keep everything nice and neat and tidy, and these not all flopping around, I tucked 3 of them inside this cute little Dollar Tree basket. And this is my, I call this my snack attack bag. It doesn't bother when I go back with the seat because it's soft. One of the keys here is everything you get out, you put it back immediately. Otherwise, I could have a jungle in here in no time. This is a little catch-all. Normally, I don't necessarily.
A junk drawer?
Yeah. So he hides it. He and he can sit up and see out the window better that way too. This is my office. Because I have a channel, so I do a lot.
Yes, tell me what your channel is so everybody knows. We will have a link below. You definitely have to go watch her. I've been watching her for years.
Oh, thanks,
And
Jan.
your channel is?
It's Serene and Simple Life. Yeah. I've got my toiletry bag here. All kinds of face stuff and brushes and stuff like that. I have my power bank. It's a Jackery. It's like the mid-size one.
Like 500 or?
It is a 500.
So you don't have a refrigerator, a 12 volt?
I don't. No, my little is a Coleman,
All right.
and I carry to put ice in. I get some ice at Love's or something,
Nice.
and use these as my little containers inside. I do have an external that I battery bank. That's how I charge my phone when I'm driving. You know, I'm a traveler. 300-watt power inverter. This
Sure.
is called my Nook.
Okay.
Again, I was showing you the bags from the other side. I am prepared with this amount of clothing for at least 6 to 8 weeks away. Actually, you know, I lived in my vehicle for 3.5 years full time, so I didn't have much more than this as far as clothing. When you roll your clothing, you get so much in here. You know, these are really awesome. And you can use these as pillows too, in the back. There's been rainy days where I'll put that squishy pillow that's in the center near the console, on the console when I sleep, put it back against here, and I can prop my feet up on the console, and I have a little sitting area for the day. Nothing under here except blankets. This is a nice folded quilted bedspread, and I've got a wool blanket, and I've got one of those fuzzy blankets. It is comfortable, yeah, because of the cushion that I have here. This is a 4-drawer unit that came from the Container Store. This is kitchen items, even my healthy rolled oats and bowls, and like a little cozy here. And then down below is food, canned goods.
Okay.
And then these 2 drawers happen to be things like a fan, my Mr. Heat. It's a very small little heater I can plug into the Jackery. This is a gas one guard for the wind.
Oh, for the stove.
And I keep these things in here full time, even when I'm back at my landing zone. This is a home for me. This is like, I say to people now, I own 2 homes. Not bragging, it's just, this is how I feel about it.
I understand.
Yes, and then a shovel my son got me, so never had to use it. They say just like a gas can, if you have something like this, then you'll never get in a situation where you'll need it. But if you don't have it,
That's when.
that's when you're going to need it. Well, I didn't cook in my Acura, I don't think. I can't remember. That was back in 2019.
You have to go rewatch your video.
Yeah, 2019, I think I cooked out at a picnic table, so this would heat up my water as I took off for the day. I have my little blender here.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
A blend jet. This is the charger for my dustbuster, so that's how I keep my home clean. People ask me where my potty is, where you can see the little personals there. But if I had an emergency at night, okay, well that's the little P, and then behind it is a little collapsible donut potty there that I
Okay.
can pull out from right here, and I can set it up here in my nook. I'll just, as if I were going to be sitting back here, I'm just tossing things right up front here. There's nothing to it. Check out how much
Yeah,
space
you've got
I
a
have.
big living room back here.
Yes. And, you know, people have asked me in the past, like, well, don't you want something a little bit bigger? Well, you know, I started out in a 2003 Acura. It turned over 200,000 miles, and then I gave it to my son, and I got the SUV, which had over 100 on it when I got it. It's a 2012 Toyota Highlander, and now it's over 200,000, and I don't think I'm going to go with anything bigger. I like this cozy small space. I like the simplicity of go, see, do. And the gas mileage, I mean, we don't even have to discuss that. That's
Of course.
that's a given. And the stealthness, the simplicity, as I mentioned before, reaching everything from the front seat. I mean, you literally could take off tomorrow, we won't say today, okay, and sleep in your front seat until, if you want to get yourself a bed, I'm only 5'5", so you can even put a bed across this way rather than long ways. But the amount of space here, and we'll be showing you next, is I carry my craft show business with me in the back.
I'm anxious to see that.
So if you're not doing craft shows, you're going to have like 3 homes in one in here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you have got it very serene and simple. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
For making it so cozy.
Yeah. People call this the garage normally, and this is my, this is all craft show, display, and product. This is called a director's chair, which when you go to craft shows, you sit up a little higher for people. So from here to here, this whole thing is my director's chair. And then we've got racks. We've got some grid here. We've got 2 product containers. We've got some more product over here. This is a fun idea for people. This is my iPhone photography that I've matted. And there's 4 dogs running on the beach in Oregon. How about that? And then this is a canopy for the shows. Weights. These are 10-pound weights. I have 8 of these. 4 of them are in the nook underneath the cushions. So that kind of balances things out too. It makes it flatter because I have 4 of those.
Right. And those are for your tent,
For
your
the
canopy.
canopy, yeah, to put on the bottom. They have a little slot that you just slide them on. This is more product. And right back in here is a display rack. Extra coverage. Sometimes I've been under bright lights, and so I have that circular thing that flips together, but then I also have one of these guys too.
Yeah. That'd be good for insulation too.
For some, yep.
And you've got yours sitting up there. Did you make that? It really fits good.
Yes,
I have trouble making mine stay up there.
Yeah, mine, it just pops in. So at night, I can even from the back, I can walk through my little nook, and with like this, I'll just push it up in place from inside.
Oh, from inside.
Yeah, so if literally, I'm a rest area person, I believe in the rest areas, but maybe I don't want to show myself once I'm there at 8 o'clock. So I just use this, and no one ever even sees me come out of my vehicle. How cool is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, when I first started out as a Nomad, I had shows all lined up, and so I needed to, in my Acura, my trunk was the space that this is now. And there are 2 seats that are underneath here.
Is this part of your display and your products right here?
I did digital albums of my travels.
Wow.
And this was the New Beginnings, travel, work, and play. I've worked and lived all across the country in my car, my SUV. Seen all 50 states except for Alaska, and I've worked in Montana, Utah, Washington. I go to the big tent and quartzsite, but you can get camp host jobs. That was my first one in Washington. When I left Texas, I headed to the RTR, and then from there I went up to Washington and was a camp host. And from there I worked at Ruby's Inn General Store in Bryce Canyon, retail, and they allowed me to stay in my car at Ruby's Inn, which is part of Bryce Canyon. Then I worked in Florida at a Walmart. So I'm already in the system if I want to go back and be a cashier, and I've also been a online grocery picker with them. My craft shows and being an entrepreneur is my first love.
Yes.
And so when I took off, I had this business called Say It, Display It. And this is where I started off. There's the car that I started off in. Happy is the new rich. I'm a sayings junkie. And then this was actually doing, making my Reflectix. So I've got the whole journey in here. In this bigger one, probably a couple thousand photos. And so go see do 2019 to 2021. And then I got a tiny home. But then Say It, Display It was with me the entire time. Actually, they're 30 in a deck, and you rotate them out daily for a different message every day. And they come with a display stand. So, Jan, if you want to play, pick one. It'll be your message for the day. This is from the Mighty 5, which is Utah's national parks.
Oh, okay, because Utah is my destination this year.
Yeah, so I'll try to loosen this up. You pick one, and then we can read it. Nature is pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy.
That's very good.
So this is Rut to Revival, a Gypsy Soul Nomad journey. I call this a 3-in-1. This is my personal story, which I get very, very personal in. And then it's a travel guide, and by travel guide, free. I traveled the entire country for free, seeing. I have 11 pages in here of free things you can see, except for 2 things I paid money for. The National Parks Pass, $80. Now I'm a lifetime member. I'm 66. And I paid to get into the Ark, the Noah's in Kentucky.
Well, that's a great reference there then for
Yeah.
people who want to travel too.
So, and it also is a handbook where you can do some writing in it too. Like I listed all my food, all the clothing, and then there's a place where you can make it personal to what you want to get out the door and get going. Well, this is on Amazon, and then I'll be in Quartzsite too, so I'll have them all of January. And you can find me at the info booth.
Okay,
I'm going to be
good.
volunteering there. I love to volunteer I really strongly believe in the organization and what Bob Wells started for all of us.
How many times have you been interviewed by him?
3 times.
Yeah?
Yeah, he split the first one with my Acura into my home and my business in a trunk. And then he did me when I transitioned from the Acura into the SUV. 3.5 years on the road, I saved money. I always had another goal that I wanted to get a piece of land to have as a landing zone. And I have a little over a half an acre. And so I have my landing zone. It's a cottage. I call it Cozy Nest Cottage. But it is still 4 walls. No matter how cute it is, no matter where it's at, what it's doing, I am a gypsy soul.